The story begins by showing a woman standing on the edge of a building, contemplating to do the unthinkable, until her phone suddenly rings. At the same time, her daughter is desperately shouting for her mother, running around frantically searching for her. Soon after, the woman finally answers the phone and, with desperation, begs the person on the line to leave her alone. The woman then cries and pleads for the person not to force her anymore. However, the person on the call refuses to stop until the woman is dead. Unexpectedly, the woman responds by saying that she will indeed do the unthinkable. The daughter runs out of the building, looking for her mother, when suddenly she hears something fall behind her. Her body trembles as she slowly turns around to see what fell. Realizing it was her mother, the daughter screams hysterically in deep sorrow. However, she suddenly wakes up, as what she experienced was just a dream. The little girl named Xu Nian has now grown up and sits on her bed, still thinking about her recent dream. Her heart feels heavy, and her mind is clouded with a mix of grief and confusion. The vivid memory of her mother's fall lingers, leaving Xu Nian feeling vulnerable and lost, as if the trauma has never truly left her. A moment later, Xu Nian sees a newspaper on the table beside her bed and puts it back. After that, she quickly takes a shower and gets ready. As Xu Nian walks towards her destination, a middle-aged woman suddenly stops her and steps out of a car. She looks back at the woman and uses sign language to communicate, as Xu Nian became mute after witnessing her mother's death. Her father remarried another woman, bringing a stepsister of the same age into the family. The middle-aged woman is her stepmother, Wan Li, who informs Xu Nian that she has come on behalf of her father, Xu Tao, to tell Xu Nian that the family business is facing financial difficulties. Apparently, Xu Nian is asked to give up some assets considered unimportant, including the special education school founded by her mother. Hearing this, Xu Nian becomes furious, as the school was never part of her father's business group. However, Wan Li, with an arrogant tone, tells her that the land where the school stands belong to the business group, and Xu Nian must follow her father's decision. Wan Li then suggests that Xu Nian meet with her father, since they haven't seen each other for a long time, ever since Xu Nian distanced herself from the family after her mother's death. Xu Nian agrees and gets into her stepmother's car, but Wan Li parks the car in an unknown parking lot, leaving Xu Nian confused. When Xu Nian asks if there's a problem, a few men suddenly appear from another car and drug her. After successfully rendering her unconscious, Wan Li drives the car with an unconscious Xu Nian in the back seat, as if nothing happened. Not long after, Xu Nian woke up in an unfamiliar place, which seemed like a hotel room. At the same time, Wan Li met a rough-looking man with a scarred face named Mr. Lu Bu and handed him a card, saying that he must invest in their business group in exchange for time with Xu Nian. Hearing this, Mr. Lu Bu was pleased and immediately went to meet Xu Nian in another room. Elsewhere, a man named Ming Yan was having dinner, while Mr. Lu Bu entered the room where Xu Nian was supposed to be, but she was not there. Moments later, Mr. Lu Bu noticed a blanket rope hanging from the balcony and quickly ordered his men to chase after Xu Nian. After his men left, unexpectedly, Xu Nian emerged from the closet where she had been hiding and escaped the room. However, as she left, Xu Nian ran into one of Mr. Lu Bu's men, who immediately started chasing her. On the other hand, Ming Yan discovered that his meal had been poisoned, making it hard for him to breathe. As a result, a man quickly informed a woman that the waiter who had poisoned Ming Yan was waiting outside, prompting the woman to go and meet him. At the same time, Xu Nian also saw the waiter, who immediately captured her and locked her in the same room with Ming Yan. When Xu Nian knocked on the door, Ming Yan, despite struggling to breathe, heard her faint knocks and tried to listen. Xu Nian quickly typed a message on her phone, saying that dangerous men were chasing her, so Ming Yan, with great effort, gestured for her to leave. However, just as she was about to go, she heard noises outside, the sound of heavy footsteps approaching the door, making her heart race even faster. In search of a way out, Ming Yan caused a disturbance, and Xu Nian covered her mouth to stay quiet. She then wrote something on Ming Yan's palm, and suddenly, he grabbed her, dragged her into the room. Xu Nian's heart pounded in her chest as fear surged through her. She fought back, her mind racing for an escape, refusing to give in to panic. Her eyes darted around the room, searching for anything she could use to defend herself. Outside, a drone controlled by an unknown figure captured the scene, its operator seemingly interested in Xu Nian's every move. After that, Xu Nian managed to escape after injuring Ming Yan, who then fainted, and she fled the hotel. The next day, a reporter announced shocking news. The Gu group had appointed a new president, surprising the people of China. The surprise came because the position was not passed to the second-generation heir, but to the third-generation eldest grandchild. Additionally, it was revealed that Ming Yan was the only son of the former president, Gu Hong. Apparently, Ming Yan had lived abroad since childhood, leading a mysterious life unknown to others. Soon after, as he entered a building, Ming Yan was surrounded by reporters who asked how he felt about a relative taking over the presidency of the Gu group. However, Ming Yan ignored them and headed to the conference room, where the board of directors was discussing that Gu Hong, you should have become president, not Ming Yan, because he had just returned from abroad. At that moment, Gu Hongyu, who was Ming Yan's uncle, emphasized that the position didn't matter. The company's growth was what truly counted. However, he still expressed concern about potential losses if Ming Yan became president. Not long after, Ming Yan entered the conference room with his secretary, sitting confidently. Ming Yan urged the board to make the right decision and approve the acquisition of Gu Group. When no one objected, Ming Yan announced that the acquisition had been approved and the meeting was adjourned, leaving the room followed by the board members. Seeing this, Hongyu became angry about the power Ming Yan held and planned to undermine him by using any means necessary, including exploiting Ming Yan's secrets. Unexpectedly, Hongyu was the one who had placed the drone outside the hotel room when Ming Yan was poisoned. He also captured the footage of Ming Yan trying to force himself on Xu Nian. With this evidence, Hongyu schemed something evil using the recording. At a mansion, Xu Nian met her father, Su Tao, and immediately threw her shoes at Wan Li upon seeing her. However, Su Tao defended Wan Li and did not believe Xu Nian's story. Xu Nian then quickly asked her father if it was true that he sold her mother's school, and her father, annoyed, confirmed it. Xu Nian immediately refused to sell it, but her father told her not to mention her mother's name in the house. Shocked by what her father said, Xu Nian became angry and demanded that he stop speaking ill of her mother, but Su Tao slapped her face and told her to leave. Shortly after Xu Nian left, Wan Li began acting spoiled in front of her husband, clinging to his arm and whimpering, pretending to be scared of Xu Nian's actions. However, Su Tao only sighed in frustration, ignoring her antics and dismissively telling her to be quiet. Not long after, Ming Yan, while in his office, was informed by his secretary that his uncle was the one who had bribed the waiter to poison his food and had arranged for a woman to be sent to his room. However, Ming Yan knew that the woman never came, so he instructed his secretary to investigate further. Back at Su Tao's place, he angrily questioned Wan Li if it was true that Xu Nian had claimed she had been kidnapped and sold to serve a man. Wan Li tried to calm her husband, explaining that the man in question was Mr. Lu Bu, a gangster who seemed to like Xu Nian. Therefore, Wan Li thought it would be a good idea to arrange a marriage between them so the company could benefit from Mr. Lu Bu's money. Hearing this, Su Tao became furious that his wife wanted to sell their daughter. His face turned red with anger, and his hands trembled as he struggled to contain his emotions. Wan Li, however, insisted that no one would want to marry Xu Nian because she was mute, so it would be better to marry her off to Mr. Lu Bu. In the middle of their conversation, Xu Nian's stepsister suddenly entered the room, showing them news about Xu Nian being in bed with Ming Yan. In his office, Ming Yan was meeting with his uncle, Hongyu, who scolded him for the news that had spread, even though his uncle was the one who arranged it. To prevent the news about Ming Yan's alleged scandal with Xu Nian from damaging the Gu Group's reputation, Hongyu demanded that Ming Yan step down from his position. In the midst of their argument, Ming Yan's secretary revealed that she had found information about the woman who was seen with him in the room. Unexpectedly, Ming Yan told his uncle that Xu Nian was his fiancée, and he promised to hold a media clarification meeting to announce Xu Nian's identity. Afterward, Ming Yan read the information about Xu Nian and discovered that she was the daughter of the Xu Ning Group and the daughter of Song Yi, a teaching assistant at a special school. It turned out that Ming Yan already knew that Xu Nian was mute, so he instructed his secretary to find her. Meanwhile, Su Tao became furious because his daughter was being portrayed as a prostitute in the media. To make matters worse, Wan Li worsened the situation with her words. Shortly after, someone was seen knocking on Xu Nian's door. When she opened it, Wan Li and her subordinates were there. They immediately took Xu Nian to a car, which was also seen by Ming Yan, who was nearby, and began following the car. Upon arriving at their destination, Xu Nian was placed in the same car as Mr. Lu Bu, who was waiting for her with a menacing smile, his eyes filled with ill intent. When Mr. Lu Bu tried to force himself on her, Xu Nian quickly kicked him in the groin and ran away. While running, she encountered Ming Yan, who immediately fought off Mr. Lu Bu's subordinates and asked if Xu Nian recognized him. After incapacitating Mr. Lu Bu's men with a baton, Ming Yan introduced himself and asked if Xu Nian wanted to make a deal, offering her protection in exchange for her cooperation in a plan he had in mind. After that, they returned to the car, while Mr. Lu Bu's subordinates reported to Wan Li that Xu Nian had escaped with Ming Yan. Later, Ming Yan handed Xu Nian a contract for their engagement. At that moment, Xu Nian typed on her phone to ask what he meant. Ming Yan explained that he was now being called a playboy with a messy personal life in the media, so he needed Xu Nian's help to clear the scandal. Hearing this, Xu Nian agreed to help restore Ming Yan's reputation, but was confused about why they needed to be engaged. Ming Yan explained that it was the most effective and reliable way for now. Not only could it improve his image, but also Xu Nian's. Additionally, Ming Yan asked her to look at the contract, as it offered many benefits. While he was explaining, Xu Nian suddenly received a message and quickly left. It turned out she was heading to her mother's school because there was an issue that needed to be addressed. Despite this, Xu Nian promised to resolve their matter. At the school, Xu Nian was informed that the school was about to close due to financial difficulties, and the principal was worried about the children's future if the school was sold. The lack of funding had put the school's future in jeopardy. However, Xu Nian assured her not to worry, as she would take care of it. After leaving the school, Xu Nian returned home, filled with sadness. The next day, Xu Nian went to Ming Yan's house and was warmly welcomed upon her arrival. At that time, Ming Yan asked why she had left so abruptly the previous day, and Xu Nian explained that she had urgent matters to attend to. She then apologized to Ming Yan and said she would sign the engagement contract they had discussed. However, she had one condition. Ming Yan had to purchase the land rights for her mother's special education school. When asked why, Xu Nian explained that if Ming Yan wanted to acquire the Suning group, buying the land would create a mutually beneficial situation by securing the future of the special education school and improving public perception of the Suning group. Still, Ming Yan did not agree. Xu Nian further explained that if Ming Yan bought the land rights for the school, he could save her father's business and help rescue the school from its crisis. However, Ming Yan still refused, as he did not see it as a profitable investment. With no other choice, Xu Nian began to think of another plan. Eventually, Xu Nian used her charm to secure the contract, leaning in closer and placing her hand gently on Ming Yan's arm. The sudden physical contact shocked Ming Yan, prompting him to ask Xu Nian to clarify her intentions. In the end, Ming Yan finally agreed to purchase the land until the contract's period ended. After signing the contract, Xu Nian officially became Ming Yan's fiancé. He made it clear that he didn't like people getting too close to him. In public, they had to maintain a distance of at least 20 centimeters, and even in private, Xu Nian was not allowed to get too close to him. Additionally, Ming Yan asked Xu Nian to move in with him and work at his company, so he would send her a work schedule. He also requested that she not enter his room under any circumstances. After some time, Xu Nian asked for permission to return home and pack her belongings, but Ming Yan refused. When she asked why, he didn't provide a clear reason. Despite this, Xu Nian insisted, as she had no belongings with her and needed clothes to change into. Unexpectedly, Ming Yan informed her that he had already prepared clothes for her in her room. Xu Nian was taken aback by this, feeling a mix of surprise and unease. She couldn't help but wonder why Ming Yan had gone to such lengths, and the thought made her feel both grateful and slightly unsettled. With no other choice, Xu Nian went to her room and sent a message to the principal, assuring her that the school issue had been resolved. At the same time, Ming Yan sent Xu Nian a voice message containing the schedule for the next day, including their meeting with his grandfather, and mentioned that his assistant would provide documents with further instructions. After reading the message, Xu Nian sighed and lay down on the bed. The next day, Xu Nian and Ming Yan went to meet his grandfather, Ming Dao, and other family members. Ming Yan introduced Xu Nian as his fiancée, but his grandfather did not seem pleased, his expression turning stern. He was clearly concerned about Xu Nian's background and how it might affect the family's reputation, and asked to speak with him privately. Ming Yan then asked Xu Nian to make a good impression on his family while he was away. It turned out that Ming Dao scolded Ming Yan because Xu Nian was the daughter of the Xu Ning group. Ming Yan admitted that he was aware of this, but he assured his grandfather that he would not make any mistakes, explaining that it was part of his plan to protect the company's image since his identity had already been exposed. Hearing this, Ming Dao was pleased, feeling that the training he had given his grandson had not been in vain. After meeting with his grandfather, Ming Yan encountered his uncle, Hong Yu, who continued to refer to him as the illegitimate child. Hong Yu continued by saying that Ming Yan had never even seen his father's face, reminding him the absence of a paternal figure in his life. After mocking him, Ming Yan gave a smart response, saying that although he was an illegitimate child, he was still the president of the group. Meanwhile, Ming Yan's relatives were gossiping about how Xu Nian's family tried to get her into Ming Yan's room so she could marry him. As they continued to make fun of her, Xu Nian used her phone to communicate and told them to mind their own business. She felt a mix of anger and humiliation, but she kept her expression composed, determined not to show weakness in front of them. She even added that it was actually Ming Yan who pursued her, and that she wasn't interested in him at first. Hearing this, Ming Yan's relatives were shocked to find out that Xu Nian could hear, as they had assumed she was deaf-mute. Xu Nian added that Ming Yan told her she was his first love. In the midst of the commotion, Ming Yan suddenly walked in and stirred the situation between Xu Nian and his aunts. Ming Yan then warned Xu Nian not to spread rumors and deducted 10 points from her. Shortly after, the family members were seen sitting around the table for a meal. While eating, Ming Yan whispered to Xu Nian, telling her that he would give her 2 points if she served him food. However, Xu Nian insisted that he raise it to 5 points. Reluctantly agreeing, Xu Nian served him fish, unaware that Ming Yan was allergic to it. As Ming Yan tried to push the fish away, Xu Nian insisted that he eat it, saying that eating something he's allergic to wouldn't hurt him once in a while. Hearing this, Ming Dao laughed, while Ming Yan was annoyed and told Xu Nian that she had lost another 10 points for giving him fish. After that, Hong Yu had a conversation with Xu Nian about the acquisition of the Xu Ning group. He told her not to feel bad because it wasn't entirely Ming Yan's decision. Xu Nian shook her head and took out her phone, telling Hong Yu that this was just business and wouldn't affect her feelings. At the same time, Ming Dao spoke to Ming Yan to inform him that it was time to hold the media clarification meeting, which Ming Yan agreed to. Meanwhile, Wan Li was furious upon finding out that her stepdaughter was about to marry a wealthy man, as she feared that Xu Nian's marriage would give her more power and influence within the family, threatening Wan Li's own position and plans. Moreover, Wan Li and Xu Nian's stepsister, Zuya, realized that they would be at a disadvantage if they allowed Xu Nian into the Gu family. So they both decided they had to separate the couple at all costs. Zuya then suggested the idea of winning Ming Yan over, which Wan Li found intriguing and agreed to. The next day, as the press conference was being prepared, Xu Nian was getting ready. However, the makeup artists were gossiping, not understanding why Ming Yan wanted to marry her. As they continued to speak ill of her, Xu Nian grew tired of it and told them that she could hear, which shocked them. At that moment, Ming Yan entered the room and urged them to work faster as the time was nearing. As Ming Yan walked through the hallway, he encountered Zuya, who appeared surprised to see someone she didn't recognize. After Ming Yan asked her identity, Zuya responded that she was Xu Nian's sister. Upon hearing this, Ming Yan informed her that she was not invited, but Zuya said she had come specifically to discuss something with him. So Ming Yan decided to hear her out. Zuya then lied, claiming that Xu Nian had been deceiving Ming Yan all along, but Ming Yan chose not to listen further and walked away. When the press conference began, Wan Li and Xu entered. Ming Yan was seen holding Xu Nian's hand as they stepped onto the stage. He informed the journalists that he had purposely not announced their relationship publicly to protect his fiancée, but he had not anticipated false rumors to spread. As Ming Yan continued speaking, the journalists received notifications on their phones, which distracted them. With the reporters becoming noisy, Ming Yan decided to check the top news story being shared. It turned out the news claimed that Xu Nian had been involved in multiple intimate relationships with other men. As a result, the reporters began bombarding Xu Nian with questions, asking if it was her in the pictures. At that moment, Xu Nian could only signal that it wasn't her and that all the photos had been edited. As they left, Xu Nian tried to explain to Ming Yan that the person in the photos wasn't her. Fortunately, Ming Yan didn't believe the news and told Xu Nian that he would help calm the situation, asking her to sit in the room while he went out to speak. Ming Yan then instructed his assistant to inform the technology department to trace the source of the images, emphasizing the importance of finding out who was behind this. Outside the room, his assistant suggested the idea of claiming that Ming Yan was innocent and gaining public sympathy by making it seem like Xu Nian had deceived him, whether or not the information about her was true. He believed that now was the best time to end the relationship. Xu Nian, overhearing everything from inside, immediately felt a wave of disappointment wash over her. Struggling to hold back her emotions, she got up to leave. When Ming Yan stopped her, Xu Nian told him that she would find a reporter to explain everything clearly, as she intended to handle the situation herself. However, Ming Yan told her not to worry too much, as he would be the one to resolve the matter. At the same time, the press directed their microphones toward Wan Li, who pretended to apologize to the public on behalf of Xu Nian. Shortly after, Ming Yan appeared and addressed the reporters, stating that he was Xu Nian's fiancé. He informed them that all the photos circulating online were fake and had been verified by tech experts. Furthermore, Ming Yan's assistant announced that they had reported the case to the police and relevant authorities would issue the necessary certificates. Additionally, Ming Yan told the reporters that if his fiancée was found guilty, he would pay $10 million. However, once he discovered who was behind the fake photos of his future wife, he would pursue legal action. As the reporters dispersed, Wan Li was recognized by a cleaning staff member. Meanwhile, Xu Nian met Ming Yan, who told her that he had taken care of everything but was deducting 50 points. Hearing this, Xu Nian didn't mind and went off to find her phone. After Xu Nian left, Ming Yan's assistant informed him that Ming Dao had called, expressing his anger. While walking down the hallway, Xu Nian saw Wan Li talking to the cleaning staff member. She secretly listened to their conversation, but Ming Yan's assistant arrived to give her bag back. Due to the assistant's arrival, Xu Nian asked him to meet with the person in charge because she wanted to view the CCTV footage from the location. When asked about the cleaning staff member who was with her stepmother, the person in charge revealed that it was a temporary worker named Jing Yao. Upon hearing this, Xu Nian had a sudden flashback to her past. She remembered the distant demeanor of Jing Yao, her mother's caregiver, who was always there during her mother's illness, administering her medicine. Xu Nian realized that Jing Yao had played a significant role during her mother's final days, and the memory filled her with both nostalgia and suspicion. Sensing something strange, Xu Nian immediately requested Jing Yao's phone number, but was denied. As a result, Xu Nian informed Ming Yan's assistant that she would be taking a few days off and asked him to relay this information to Ming Yan. Xu Nian returned to her father's house, but Su Tao refused to see her. Undeterred, Xu Nian kept trying to get close to him to investigate her mother's death. She eventually met her father outside, recalling the times they used to go fishing together when she was a child. Xu Nian then told her father that she missed him and mentioned that he hadn't visited her in a long time. She remembered how close they used to be when she was younger, but realizing that her father didn't want to see her, Xu Nian told him that she would leave. However, Su Tao stopped her and asked her to stay until after dinner. Not long after, Wan Li and Xu returned home and were furious to see Xu Nian sitting with her father at the dining table. At that moment, Xu Nian admitted that she had been foolish and not attentive enough to her father in the past, feeling guilty for how distant she had become after her mother's death. Su Tao, sensing her regret, assured her that it was all in the past and asked her to forget about it, emphasizing that he never held it against her and cherished their moments together. As the conversation continued, Xu Nian brought up her mother's diary, which she used to keep when she was ill. This immediately made Wan Li's face turn pale, as if she knew something. At the same time, Su Tao asked his wife to find the diary after they finished eating, and Xu Nian nodded happily. Shortly after, Xu Nian received a notification on her phone informing her of an emergency at the school, which required her immediate attention. She quickly informed her father that she would look for her mother's diary after dinner. Meanwhile, Wan Li went into the storage room to search for Xu Nian's mother's diary, but she was caught red-handed by Xu Nian herself. Xu Nian's eyes blazed with anger as she confronted Wan Li, demanding to know what she was doing. At that moment, Xu Nian directly asked Wan Li if she was the one who killed her mother, also mentioning her encounter with the cleaning staff member, Jing Yao. Wan Li lied, saying she had met Jing Yao to learn what happened before she joined Xu Nian's family, adding that she only knew about Xu Nian's mother's illness because of Jing Yao's actions. Furthermore, Wan Li expressed regret for what happened to Xu Nian's mother. Unexpectedly, Wan Li took the recorder from Xu Nian's bag and told her she wasn't stupid before leaving with both the diary and the recorder. That night, Xu Nian was gazing at the starry sky outside her home when she encountered Ming Yan. When asked why he was there, Ming Yan replied that he had come to pick up Xu Nian, adding with a slight smile that she should consider his actions as part of his job, though his tone hinted there might be more to it than just duty. Eventually, Xu Nian and Ming Yan entered Xu Nian's family home, where Ming Yan explained that he had long wanted to visit and meet her father and mother-in-law, but work had kept him busy. Hearing this, Wan Li suggested that since it was already late, they should spend the night at the house. However, Su Tao didn't seem to like Ming Yan and left after finishing his drink, followed by Wan Li. Xu Nian then asked what Ming Yan wanted to do. After Xu Nian's room was cleaned, Ming Yan asked why the room was so empty, to which Xu Nian replied that she had been living at the school, so this wasn't really her room. Xu Nian asked again why Ming Yan had come, and Ming Yan responded that he came to see his fiancée, adding that he feared Xu Nian would leave before fulfilling the contract. Hearing this, Xu Nian told him she was fine now and asked him to sleep in another guest room. However, Ming Yan lay down on the bed and insisted he would sleep in that room for the night. When Xu Nian tried to leave to sleep elsewhere, Ming Yan suggested, with a teasing smile, that she sleep on the floor next to him, clearly trying to provoke her reaction. After changing into his pajamas, Ming Yan seemed pleased to be sharing a room with Xu Nian, enjoying the rare opportunity to be close to her. As they lay in bed, Ming Yan asked Xu Nian to tell him a joke, but she refused. A moment later, Ming Yan saw that Xu Nian had fallen asleep and decided it was time to sleep as well. However, he was startled when Xu Nian suddenly sat up. Unexpectedly, Xu Nian began telling a scary joke, which seemed to shock Ming Yan, as he appeared quite frightened. As they tried to sleep, Xu Nian reflected on her conversations with Zuya and Wan Li. Xu Nian realized that she had always thought Wan Li came from a well-known family. While thinking about her family, Xu Nian noticed that Ming Yan was lying next to her. When Xu Nian asked what he was doing, Ming Yan admitted that he was scared after hearing her ghost story. When Xu Nian tried to scare Ming Yan further, he asked her to stop. Seeing this, Xu Nian told Ming Yan that she used to be afraid of ghosts as a child, but after her mother passed away, she believed that there were no ghosts in the world, as her mother would always be there to protect her. Finally, Xu Nian told Ming Yan that the next time he felt scared, he should sing loudly to chase away the fear. Xu Nian continued to make Ming Yan listen to a song titled Don't Be Afraid, which made Ming Yan ask Xu Nian whether such a song was appropriate for a handsome, wealthy CEO like him to sing. After that, Ming Yan told Xu Nian to sleep on the bed while he took the floor instead. The next morning, Ming Yan woke up early and decided to watch over Xu Nian as she slept. Not long after, Xu Nian came out to join her father, who was talking with Ming Yan about the merger of the Xu Ning group. After her father left, Xu Nian asked Ming Yan what they had discussed, to which he replied that they had been talking about the transfer of Xu Ning group shares. Hearing this, Xu Nian thought that as long as her father sided with Wan Li and Zuya, her stepmother could easily manipulate him. Nevertheless, Xu Nian wanted to use this acquisition as an opportunity for herself. Moral lesson from the story: sometimes kicking a bad guy in the groin and signing a fake engagement contract might be all you need to fix your problems, or at least keep people guessing. And remember, if someone prepares clothes for you without asking, maybe question their fashion sense, not just their motives.